What's up, people? It's your boy Sly. In this video, I'm going to talk about the importance of having success. I have noticed in the United States today, it's so important to have a job title or to have a career because everybody wants respect in some form. Like if you are a doctor, or if you're a lawyer, you're an entrepreneur, you're a musician, when people know what you do for a living, you have a higher chance for success. I mean, not success, but you have a higher chance of people respecting you compared to having a dead-end job. Most of the time, we work dead-end jobs for a better tomorrow, in the sense where we are working jobs we don't like so we can pursue our real dreams. There are many people today who are working dead-end jobs. They're saving that money to start their own business. You know, they're saving that money so they can complete grad school. So it's one of those things where it's really important because people treat you based on what you have accomplished. And believe it or not, many people today have worked hard, but no one really cares to acknowledge them. Like, I don't waste my time on people who have already judged me. Like, there's some people in this society, no matter how much you accomplish, no matter how much you've done in your life, there are some people who will never respect you, regardless. Regardless, they will never respect you. So it's one of those things where you gotta have to just go where you will be appreciated, you know? Like, if you live in a particular city, right, and you've done a lot with your life, but some people out there just won't respect you or they won't take you seriously, you go where you will be respected. You'd be surprised how some people who have done nothing with their life want to give you advice. You know? It's funny to me how broke people like to give me advice about how to manage money. It's funny to me how people who have no accomplishments want to tell me how to be successful. It's quite funny to me. I don't know why, but it is. A lot of times, people are just not going to accept you for who you are. And that's part of the reason why a lot of Americans today end up isolated or they end up alone. Because if you have success in your life, people need to acknowledge it. You know? They don't have to like you, but acknowledge what you've accomplished. That's why I keep telling you guys, when you go to other countries, people respect you based on what you've done. Maybe you've traveled to other countries. Maybe you've hiked on a high mountain. You've gone hunting. You did skydiving. You've done things with your life that make you look fulfilled. Okay? And that's part of the reason why a lot of times people end up miserable because they didn't do anything with their life. Like, you'll be surprised how many people did nothing with their life. In the sense where, yes, they have some good memories, yes. But overall, they've done nothing interesting. It's like when you talk to somebody right now, they're talking about stuff they've done. They're sharing funny stories. and the other person's just looking at you, right? And in your mind, you think, how come this guy's not saying anything? Like, is he not interested in hearing what I have to say, or vice versa? Or what's her problem? Or, you know, or what is she not interested? But in reality, it's like they have nothing to bring to the table. They have nothing to bring to the conversation. They never did anything interesting. They never done anything. That's part of the reason why when you go to these like social gatherings, a lot of people end up, you always see the people who are happy and the ones who are miserable. Because at the end of the day, I can tell you from what I've seen, nobody cares about gossip. Okay, people may gossip with you or gossip about other people for a little bit. But at the end of the day, people are saying, what are you doing? What have you done? That's what people are talking about. You feel me? Like, I have done so much of my life. I don't have time to gossip. I just don't have time. I'm telling them where I've been, what I've done. I'm not gossiping. Gossiping is for people who haven't accomplished anything. Do you really think people want to hear a 50-year-old man gossip? Who wants to hear that shit? To be very sincere, who wants to hear that shit? You feel me? So that's one of those things you really got to understand. A lot of people in America, to be very sincere, have done nothing with their lives. And you look at them like, what the fuck have you done that makes you interesting? Because I'm not going to take advice from a guy who has done nothing with his life. Some people you meet have done nothing. Let me say what I mean by that. When I say they've done nothing, it's like they have no accomplishments that they can be proud of. Okay, going to college is not an accomplishment. Having a master's degree is not an accomplishment. It is what have you done with that degree makes you accomplished. For example, you went to pharmacy school, you're a pharmacist. You went to medical school, you're a doctor. You went to law school, you're a lawyer. There's some people today who have 2 degrees, 3 degrees, and they ain't doing shit with them. That's why a lot of times people don't like talking to people, because if you can't bring no value to other people's lives, why would they talk to you? You feel me? Like, we have this misconception because we're friends that I have to keep you in my life. No, motherfucker, if you're not adding no value, I don't need to talk to you. You know? And it made me think one time, because there was a point in my life where people found me boring. You know why people found me boring? Because I spent most of my time talking about bullshit. I would spend time just angry. I would spend my time just miserable. And I said, and you know what, people, nobody told me this, but I realized as you get older, people just want to be around good people. You know, people want to be around people who are happy. You may have gone through hardship, but guess what? Nobody wants to hear it. Everybody wants to be around happy people. You know, if you're happy most of the time, people are going to be around you. That's why there's so many people today, especially in America, who never learned how to be happy. America is one of the most bitter societies I've ever encountered in my life. People here are just bitter as fuck. And they're bitter because of their own life choices. Some people out there, like, they chose the wrong career path. Let me tell you something. When you're making money in your 20s, it seems kind of cool. Like, give me an example. There's some jobs out there that pay a lot of money, but they have no job security. Okay? There's some people out there who are working some jobs. It can be office, it can be in the oil field, it can be whatever it is, right? Some of these jobs literally have no security. And there's no career. It's just a job. Some jobs will pay you $5-6 grand a month, if not more. But the day they close down or something happens, you cannot transfer those skills into another company. So now you went from $6,000 to making nothing. You know? And a lot of times you have a lot of people in America today who spent their 20s and 30s bullshitting, partying, or they were just living life on the edge and shit. Now it's like when they enter their 40s and 50s, they have no useful job skills, and now they end up bitter. You feel me? Like, this is what's going on in America today. People don't know this. I'm telling you the shit I have seen. Half the stuff I'm saying right now, you cannot find them in an article. These are based on life experiences. I have met people older than me who are successful. I met some who are losers. Okay? Other people talk about what they've accomplished. I'm not gonna contact someone just to talk shit about them. I don't do that. People who spend their day gossiping are people with no accomplishments. If you think I'm bullshitting, ask them what they do for a living. Or ask them what they have done. They haven't done anything. People who spend their time angry most of the time are the ones who are bitter and they live in lifetime regret. There's some people in society today, they live for drama, they live for negative energy because that's all they have to bring to the table. There are some people in this world who know they are useless. And if they don't bring negative energy, they know people will not talk to them. Let me give you an example. There's some people out there who have no accomplishments in the sense where they can't even give you life advice. If they give you life advice, it's either based on deceit or it's based on self-gratification. So you can't take people seriously. Like, many people in America today are bitter as fuck. They're bitter because of their own poor life choices. I've told you guys before, and I heard this shit before from some people. Life in America, you don't get a reset button. If you don't make it by age 40, you're finished. It's game over. If you don't make it by 40, you are finished. You're done. I've told you guys before, and I'll tell you guys again. Companies in the United States are not paying, they're not hiring older employees. They're not hiring them. And when I say they're not hiring them, I mean for the good paying jobs. Jobs that pay at least $7,000 to $8,000 or more in a company. They're not hiring them on average. You have a 40-year-old man or a person who's 25 or 26 years old. Who's the company gonna take? So now you have these unskilled laborers working minimum wage, or they're working fast food, or they're working some bullshit job just to maintain themselves. Do you not see what I'm talking about? So that's why I tell you guys in America, it's very risky to fail here. If you fail, you're finished. Like, if you have child support in the US, you're done. If you guys think I'm lying about this, go look on some of these job applications. If you owe child support, it's kind of risky. If you defaulted on your child support, they're not hiring you, period. If you have debt, you can only push it off for so long, right? But what happens after that? The government will somehow have your wages garnished. Companies cannot fire you for having your wages garnished. They can't do that, which is illegal. But if they find out that you have debt and it's being garnished, they're probably not going to hire you, or they'll find a way to get rid of you if that happens. So all these factors lead to bitterness because you don't get a reset button. I'm telling you guys from experience, nobody wants to hear you gossip. Oh, that person's an asshole. Who gives a fuck? Seriously, who gives a fuck if he's an asshole? What are you doing? You feel me? Like, that's part of the reason why in America today people are just angry, because some people in America today have child support. Some people have mortgage problems. And child support today is so ruthless. They don't give a fuck about your well-being. They say pay the minimum or go to jail. So because you have a child, you risk 18 years to avoid going to prison for being a delinquent on payments. Wow, America is something else. But these factors lead to bitterness. There's some people out here in America who owe child support, and they take that shit out of your paycheck. And what happens after that? Do you know what happens after that shit? What happens after that is your cost of living has now been decreased. It has now been decreased. So you have to live on a certain budget. And in America today, people aren't helping out each other no more like that. In America today, people aren't helping out each other like that no more. They're not doing it. If you're in debt, most of your friends are not even going to deal with you. They don't want to be around a burden. That's how they see it. They don't want to be around a burden. If you're a burden to people, they're not going to deal with you. And that's what happens in America more than people think it does. You know, this is the life in the United States. And people need to understand how things really work and how things really operate, you know? That's society for you. That's society for you. You know, I just had to make this video because a lot of times people don't understand why things are the way they are. You want to be the person who has accomplishments so people will mess with you. Travel the world or travel to other states in the country. But you got to make yourself interesting to make yourself look more appealing to people. Because if you have a positive life, people are going to talk to you. If you have a negative life, no one's going to talk to you. You know, I have done things in my life where I'm happy. You know, I'm happy with my life. I'm content with my life. But there's sometimes I feel like I could have done things differently, you know? And it's rough out here because getting respect from people is really a hard thing. You know? They don't have to like you, but at least respect the person, you know? Because when you have a respectable career, people are going to listen to you when you talk. People are going to acknowledge you when you talk. People will actually take your advice. But when you're not successful, any advice you give will seem out of place. I've had people who have no accomplishments try to give me life advice. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck have you done? You know? If I wanted to become a lawyer, I would take advice from a lawyer, not some random person. You know? Let me know what you think. Peace.